Opponents and supporters of the city's $5 billion rail transit project faced off tonight in a town meeting sponsored by Eva and Kapolei's councilmen. KITV4's Keoki Kerr just back with that story. Keoki?
Well, Paula, rail transit supporters say Councilman Tom Berg stacked the deck at tonight's meeting against rail.
Go rail, go! Go rail, go!
Outside Eva Mackay Middle School tonight, people from 4 unions, including the operating engineers and the carpenters, held signs and chanted in favor of the project. And the head of Go Rail Go, Maida Timpson, said she tried to get permission to address the meeting, but never heard back from the office of Councilman Tom Berg, which organized the event.
Tom Berg's a disgrace to this community. He does not represent us.
We need to get on board with the rail, do rail right. And I believe that rail has gotten off the track, and that's what this meeting is about.
Inside, more than 250 people packed the meeting, which Tom Berg claimed was supposed to help reach a consensus on rail.
This is a both pro and con meeting tonight to just allow for open forum discussion.
So this isn't an anti-rail meeting put on by an anti-rail council member?
Absolutely not. No.
Are there any pro-rail people who are addressing the crowd tonight?
We have an open forum, open mic throughout the meeting tonight.
The meeting started with a half-hour presentation on rail transit by Panos Prevedouros, the UH engineering professor and rail critic who ran unsuccessfully for mayor last year.
You got to add lanes. This is not an anti-rail statement. It's a statement of fact.
Then members of the public each had 1 minute to talk about transit, and Timpson pointed out no rail supporter was allowed to make any presentation to balance Prevedouros' speech, which was highly critical of rail.
If this is an information for the community, you should hear both sides. Instead, we're getting a one-sided presentation.
There were also rail opponents and skeptics who asked rhetorical questions like this.
I want to know how we can possibly afford $5 billion for a rail.
Now, Berg sent invitations to speak at tonight's event to the mayor, along with the city's transportation director and deputy director who oversees rail transit. The mayor is traveling in China on business. Obviously, he couldn't go there. And city transit officials say they do not accept offers to speak at events that they don't feel offer a fair setting. And tonight's forum was one of those that they said no. Paula.